Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki and today I'm participating in Just Our Imagination Challenge. Our co-host for this month is Zaina from OK at Home DIY. Our hosts are Brenda from Rustic and Lace and Kathy Joe DIYs. These are our challenge items for this month. I'm starting out using the paper towel holder. I had this almond milk container that I saved for a while, and today I decided to use it. I am taking my heat knife and creating a slit in the center to fit down over the paper towel holder, and I'm removing the top. I'm going over it real quick with my sanding sponge, that way my paint will adhere better. I used Cottage White by Folk Art, and I ended up painting 3 coats. Here's a sneak peek of the fabric, and you'll see why I ironed it out here in a second. I found this round sign at the Dollar Tree, and I'm gluing my paper towel holder to the little round sign using epoxy. I applied the last coat of paint with a sponge to add some texture to my project. And I also used a rub-on transfer that I got from Temu. I'm going to tell you right now, there's quite a bit of things that I'm using from Temu. And I also have these scrapbooking frames that I got from there, and I'm going to use that over my rub-on transfer. You guys are going to have to let me know down in the comments what style you think this is. To me, it gives off like shabby chic, vintage vibes. But anyway, I'm using this scrapbooking frame, gluing it on with some Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm using the plastic wrap to smooth that out. Came out perfect, no wrinkles. I'm happy. I'm using this pool noodle to cover up the top of the paper towel holder. And as you can probably tell by now, we're making a lamp. This is going to create a base for our lights and our lampshade to set on. I was inspired to make this by Brandy at Making It My Own DIY. Hers was vintage, styled with black and white. I can link her video down below, so if you want to check out how she put her lamp together, you can. I'm using this plastic piece that came on one of the poles for my Christmas tree, and this creates the perfect surface to put my lampshade on. I'm using this cheesecloth as a liner, so that way when my lights are on, you won't be able to see the frame through the fabric. And I'm using a ton of hot glue, and then I'm going to take that little wood round and put that right down on the center. Lots of hot glue. And I use Gorilla Hot Glue. I don't ever have any issues with any of my projects. Everything sticks wonderfully. And if it's wood, it won't come off. So I'm just gluing the cheesecloth to the frame. And this is that fabric. This is going to be our lampshade. And so I'm gluing it to the top and making a pleat on my way down. Once I have my pleat made, I glue inside the pleat, like at the bottom, as you can probably see here in the video. And then I glue underneath the fabric. I'll let you just watch and see what I'm doing. I'm following my pleat down to that wooden piece and securing the fabric on the inside to the wooden piece. And I don't show it on video, but I did take another one of those wooden rounds and glued that on top of all the fabric once I'm done. You'll probably see it in the next clip. Now I'm making the top to the lamp. So I pulled out this macrame round and my vintage buttons that I got while thrifting. And the very first button was it. Like, I didn't even look at any others. And so I glued a finial to the top of the button. And then I glued the button to the macrame round. And then I just make sure it looks good on top before I glue it on. This project was so fun. I didn't even email Brenda until Thursday morning. I started working Thursday morning all the way through until like 2 a.m. on these projects. And it's now Saturday morning and I'm getting my editing done, but I did all this in one day. I had no idea what I was even going to do. But this is ballet slipper that I am dry brushing onto the top. And so you can see that wooden round that I mentioned in the lampshade. But I took these fairy lights and I wrapped them all around the pool noodle. And if you haven't used this alien tape, you are missing out. My sister introduced this to me and it's the bee's knees. I love this stuff. So it's double-sided tape. It's stretchy. And so I put a piece of tape onto the pool noodle. And then as you can see, I'm wrapping the remainder of the wire onto the alien tape. And then I cut another piece of tape and just place that on top. I added another piece of alien tape to the top, and that's what we're going to attach the battery pack to. And that just makes it so easy to exchange the batteries when you need to. If you need to replace the alien tape, perfect. This makes it super easy. I use macrame cord all around the base. I'm not going to have you watch me wrap around the whole thing. And then I ended up dry brushing some of that white chalk paint over the macrame cord, which you'll see in the reveal. I got this beautiful lacy ribbon off of Temu. It's just so beautiful, guys. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to order more because even my husband fell in love with this lamp and he wants us to have matching ones now. So if my husband loves it, that makes my day. So I just glued that all the way around. I think this is the prettiest thing. I mean, we all have things that we make that we absolutely love, but I have to say this is one of my favorite projects I've ever made. And here's the last snip before the reveal. I was going to have you wait till the end, but I can't. And here it is. I hope you guys really like this as much as I do. Next up, project number 2. I'm using the wire coat hanger. I did my best to shape it into a circle, and I'm using this grapevine that I get off of Amazon. I like to use this on the Dollar Tree wreaths, the ones that are kind of similar to grapevine wreaths, and it really enhances them so they are very, very nice. And I'm using this wire. I think it's like a floral wire. I love this stuff. I definitely need to replenish my stash. One of my favorite challenges to watch is this Just Our Imagination. And I actually found this woman named Karen from the Loft DIY. She made this beautiful bunny wreath for Easter, and she uses the same greenery that you'll see. You should check out her page. But this sign I got from the Dollar Tree years ago. I don't even know how many years ago, but it's been hanging out a while. And I'm using the same wire to attach that to my wreath. If you don't like things that tangle, don't use it. I got this 40% off at Hobby Lobby. I think it's beautiful. I used that floral wire and I tied it in like a clock all the way around the wreath. I don't like to use hot glue if I don't have to, especially with florals because I love to repurpose them. If I'm making something to sell or to give to a loved one, a friend, I do use hot glue because I know I'm not going to see that wreath again or that arrangement. But if it's for me, this is the route I typically go in because at some point I'm going to end up breaking this wreath down and repurposing the florals. Unless I decide to just give it away or sell it. What do you guys do? Do you keep your stuff? Do you give it away? Do you have a little gift shop you put it up in? Let me know down in the comments. I absolutely love to go to Dollar General and look at their florals. They have beautiful, beautiful florals. And I got this for $3. I think it's a pussy willow. Um, it's beautiful. I also got some beautiful lamb's ear from them. I always stop there before I go to Hobby Lobby. Okay, I'm going around my wreath and putting some baby's breath all the way around it. And again, I'm just using that wire to attach my baby's breath. And I got this off Temu. Don't come at me. If you like this video, please leave me a comment down below and let me know. And consider subscribing. I would love to have you stay around and be a part of my little DIY channel that I just started. We all have so much inspiration inside of us, and sharing it with the world is such an opportunity to help someone in some way. Some people are starting their journey because maybe they lost a loved one, or, just going through a major transition in their life, or, trying to find that talent within themselves that has just been itching to come out. And I think it's wonderful that we can all share a little bit of ourselves with one another. It was so beautiful on this day. And like I said, I had done this on a Thursday. It's Saturday morning now, and it's snowing here in Maine. And this is it. I think this came out so pretty. So, so pretty. On to project number 3. I couldn't find a cookie tin, but I found a candle tin. So I melted the wax in the oven and made some wax melts with that. And here's my cookie tin. I painted the entire thing with ivory chalk paint by Waverly. And I did have to do 2 coats on this. This is actually two projects in one. You'll see what I did with both pieces. I'm using the floral fabric again. I cut it into a circle and I'm doing 1/4 inch or so running stitch all the way around the fabric. And I got some leftover polyfill that I'm going to put in the center. It's essentially going to be a little pillow. Once I get that full, I'm just going to pull it taut and then run a few stitches through. And I did put some hot glue in there off camera. And then look, it's a little fluffy pillow. It's not perfectly round, but it doesn't need to be because you'll see where it goes next. Right down into the bottom of the can. And you can probably already tell it's a pincushion. The stencil says hand-picked, totally unintended pun. I got this cork board out of my stash and I thought it'd be super cool to make a place to put notes by my desk. So I cut out 2 pieces of PVA foam so there'd be plenty of cushion for tacks to go through. And I just put a bunch of glue down, put one of the pieces of foam down. I hadn't used this cork board before. I didn't realize it was like a sticker. So I put that on to the piece of PVA and then I ended up just gluing down that whole piece on top of the other PVA. If anyone can recommend the finger protectors for hot glue that are small for small hands, please let me know down in the comments because the ones at Dollar Tree are so big and it's so hard to work with them. My hands are small and I just want ones that will stay on. Getting burnt by hot glue is the worst in my opinion. So I just go around the outside, secure that with hot glue, and then I take a pipe cleaner and glue that onto the back and secure that with a piece of burlap. Off camera, you can see that lace I put around the edges and macrame cord. And then I use this pretty pink ribbon for a bow. And I just secured it on the sides. All 3 of my projects end up with this pretty pink ribbon. Just going fast on this, you can see what I'm doing. Glued around the sides, making sure my ribbon doesn't move about. And then I end up putting that pretty pink flower off to the side. I wanted to put little feet on the bottom of my pincushion, and I found these thimbles that again won't fit because they're too big. And so I glued those on the bottom and then put 2 coats of burnt umber chalk paint on the bottom to finish it off. And I think these turned out so beautiful. And this completes our last project. Let me know down in the comments if you think this is shabby chic, vintage. They kind of have a Love Shack fancy feel to them. I really love how they all came out, and be sure to watch the playlist and see what everybody else made. If you stayed for the whole video, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.